Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Yeah, this is I was just thinking about you saying all this. I'm just thinking about the 2020 election. I just don't feel it, man. I'm not feeling the vibe. I just can't be bullied into voting for Democrats or whatever. And I think anybody gonna run against Trump, they're gonna lose very badly.
I think Trump, actually, he's done a better job than Barry. And I'm sorry, I can see Bernie Sanders, but the rest of them, that's a waste of your vote. In other words, no benefit, no vote. If you vote for them, all you're doing is voting for the Skittles crowd.
Yeah.
Let them get their own damn votes. We don't need to waste our votes and get none of the gravy.
Yeah, I don't think we just. It's like that's not even the most important thing in politics to vote. It's other stuff you could do. Like, there's other things involved just besides just voting when it comes to politics. And our people just we just get it like to me, we treat our politics like we treat our churches. It's all about that emotional feel good type of feeling. It's not nothing tangible that I could touch and feel. It gotta be something, well, I hope that they'll do the right thing. Well, let's make sure they do the right thing. How can we hold these folks accountable?
Well, turn them out of office. Why is Steve Cohen still congressman for the 9th District? The only damn piece of legislation he's introduced in the last 2.5 years was one mandating the use of paper straws in the congressional cafeteria.
But I think he understands black folks' psyche better than some black people understand. That we understand our psyche. How it's not about doing grand gestures. It's just about doing things to make people feel like that he acknowledged them. Like, black folks want to be acknowledged. A lot of us got this thing. We must be validated by these people and acknowledge that we exist. We don't have it. Like, our lives don't mean nothing unless we get killed by a white police officer. If Juju and Ray kill each other, it don't make a difference. But a white police officer kill us, that's when our lives count.
Who the hell is he acknowledged?
No, it's about, renaming postal offices after black people or streets or whatever.
What post office?
Well, Sugarman, late Russell Sugarman, got a postal office renamed after him.
I know. He just died in the last 4 or 5 months.
Yes, sir. And I was just doing, he'll show up, do proclamations for, I just show up to people's birthday parties and stuff.
What does that do for anybody?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do we keep these folks in? It's all about feel good with us. It's all about emotions.
Well, see, the other thing is less than a tenth of the 9th District is white.
Mm-hmm.
But the voting machines are corrupted, and they've embraced him as part of those who benefit from the corruption of the machines.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Tammy Sawyer running for mayor and allegedly refusing to do anything and voting against all resolutions to replace those damn machines. The money's been there for 11 years to do so. And we got Norma Jackson running around spreading misinformation that it's up to the election commission, not the county commission, which is bull. It's up to the county commission by Tennessee law.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's all wrapped up. And see, why is Tammy Sawyer allegedly getting money from Strickland to campaign against him? To divide the black bloc vote. Just like every damn time we get whoever is the Democratic nominee for the 9th District is going to be the congressman. So we got a divide and conquer thing, or even more effective, just take the corrupt machines and use them in a corrupt way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's something. I just should black folks really abandon the Democrat Party at this moment? At this point, I'm not saying even join the Republican Party, but just not associate with them.
The Democratic Party was chartered on furthering and expanding the institution of slavery.
Right.
The Republican Party was chartered in the 1850s to engage in abolition and the ending of slavery. For most of the time since the Civil War, blacks have been Republicans, not Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So we can change parties again. I would suggest that we boycott this election. Let Trump go on again, and actually he's doing pretty good for us. Or vote for Trump. Don't give these Democrats one damn vote. Let them see what happens. What is it? You don't miss your water till your well runs dry?
That's right.
If that happens, they will try to court us, and the Republican Party will say, wait a minute, maybe there's hope. These Negroes aren't locked in stone with the Democratic Party. Maybe we can do something to court them. See, win-win. I'd suggest we keep voting on the local level, but on the national level, they've got a bunch of incompetent and embarrassingly stupid bozos running for American president.
Yeah.
With the exception of Bernie Sanders, in my personal opinion.
But Bernie ain't gonna win. They just ain't accepting him. The Democrats ain't gonna accept Bernie, man.
I know that. He's goddamn selfish. And the other thing, he isn't dedicated to the Skittles people. See, Biden is a Skittles person.
Mm-hmm. He said it as much, right? He said this is a priority.
He is alleged to be a Skittles person.
Who was that? Who was alleged to be a Skittles person?
Cory Booker.
Yeah, I allegedly see that.
Biden has strong stories told on him about being a Skittles person.
Who, that Joe Biden?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at his son, man. Like, his son was held at gunpoint trying to buy crack.
Yep.
Oh, my God. The fruits of the tree, man. I just look at that. And then, it was at the same son that had the affair with his brother's widow?
Yep.
Okay, yep.
So they're going to get another American president in there. Like Joan Rivers said before she died, they asked her, what do you think we are going to get our first gay American president? So you already got one. He's in the White House now.
And that's why I ain't gonna say that's why, but yeah. So after that,
she's an old lady. She had problems.
But did you say Michelle Obama was a man too?
I heard that, but I don't know. But I've interviewed on several radio shows with the same couple of guys who went to college or law school with Barry.
Mm-hmm.
And like they say in law school, allegedly, he couldn't keep his hands off the white boys.
It's like allegedly he's like Bayer Rustin. I'm sorry. Man, this stuff is like crazy, man. I just
Well, look at the fact of the matter. While we were going through that, remember we were talking about government shutdown and how serious was it? And I said it's a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Well, all while that was going on, these committees for both parties were meeting behind the smoke screen of that confusion to pass out of committee all of this Skittles stuff. I mean, it's their political right to do that, but, you know, it ain't doing a damn thing for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And see, what they're really doing that needs pushback is they're destroying the family. And they are screwing these kids up, the next generation, trying to recruit them. See, which they have no excuse to do because they say you're born that way. If you're born that way, why are they trying to recruit so hard? Because it's a tale. It's a developmental thing, a nurture thing rather than a nature thing. I'm sure, though, there are probably some instances where it's just one of their natures to be that way. But it looks to me like most of the time it's just a choice.
Yeah. Well, I just look at the fact that society makes it a choice in some cases. You look at it for black males. You look at what happened when you were a strong black alpha male. Like you look what happened with Medgar Evers and Malcolm X, and even Dr. King, a person who who stand up for stuff. They hetero black males who stand up for things, and they get cut down before they reach 40 years old of age, before they make it to 40.
And I'll say this, is a much more mature man.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Malcolm and I look at King, and I know they're icons, but
right.
I just say basically they were still kids, and they really didn't have it all together because they weren't thinking like they would have in 5 to 10 years more of life.
That's why they killed them. I think that's why they cut them off, so they wouldn't be thinking, like you said, grow into what they need to grow into.
That's exactly part of the case.
So I think that's traumatic. That's trauma that's passed down from generations. I think that's like ancestral trauma, that things that happened to our ancestors that we have an ancestral memory to, and that it translates to. I mean, like you talking about the Spartan mothers, right? In the old age, where they was happy to have their sons be raised to die for a cause, to be men. But now we like a lot of our women, they don't want our sons to be men or to be brave.
No, they don't. And see, they're suffering from it too. I just got through dealing with some teenage and young 20-ish girls who are, children of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, why can't we find a boy? And one girl, I remember what a rich white girl told me years ago. Her daddy asked me to talk to her. Said, Judge, why is it all the boys I date are like my girlfriends with dicks? What's wrong? I don't want to date somebody that knows more about my purse than I do. Or my shoes, or my undergarments, or my dresses than I do. What the hell's going on with this picture?
Wow.
By the way, they talk about that in that Shaft movie too.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out Shaft. You got a good. I haven't checked out John Wick yet, sir. I'm gonna check it out soon. I'm sorry about.
You have to see John.
I saw the first two, but you said this is the best one, huh?
Yeah. Have you seen the videos where they got Halle Berry and Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, you shared it with me. I was impressed. John, he take his stuff seriously. He's one of my favorite actors, though. He always interesting.
Well, yeah, he does his own stunts. And
yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. But I want to talk about this. I'm interested in seeing you get back on TV. I know a lot of people they come to the channel, they love what you're doing, social media, but they also want to see you back on TV in your glory, in that media. So you got some things coming up very soon, correct?
Yeah, that will be fall. Interesting. Let's talk about social media. Twitter.
All right.
They have me at 12,000. 62 followers right now. Well, 2 days ago it was 12,067. I audited and counted 862, but they took away 4, and then they got right below this. They got 16 people followed you, 27 people followed you, and they only give me credit for 3.
Interesting.
See, they don't like the message.
Yeah, but I think it's psychological. I'll tell somebody they manipulate numbers to try to discourage people sometimes. But your message is getting out there. I know with me sometimes I look at my numbers for certain things, and like today I was at an event called Neighborhood Heroes. I was the photographer for the event on Mud Island, trying to encourage kids to be more courageous and be brave, I guess, as everyday heroes. And it was one of the martial arts instructors. They said, "Oh, you brought a run. You do this and stuff. I know about Dick and Judge and all that stuff. You do great work." I said, "Sometimes I don't think you make any difference, but you out in the community and stuff like that. and folks recognize your voice or recognize you, and they tell you things like, we use the stuff that you put out there as a curriculum for our homeschool to teach our kids, like the interviews you do with people and the other stuff you put out there. And it's like, well, at least I'm doing something to contribute to the progress of people. I may not, ever meet a lot of the people that are benefiting from the work, but it's making a difference. And you just got to believe that, by you giving the best of what you have, Judge, like sharing your talents and your insight and your wisdom, that it's having an effect.
Yeah, why don't these people that supposedly lead the city give you some recognition, or even me some recognition?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any damn sense.
I mean, it's an upside down world, Judge. As I get older, I see how things are really you talk about the contradictions. Like you always talk about, you amplify the contradictions. You see how everything's kind of like off center a little bit, how things work, like with laws and stuff like that. Have you saw that Central Park 5 movie by any chance, or limited series on Netflix? Have you seen that?
I have.
But you know what's funny about the Trump thing? Now, I like rap music for years, right? But I remember like back in the day, all the rappers wanted to be like Donald Trump. All these rappers talking about, they even had Donald Trump on these rap albums. Now they so anti-Trump now, which is crazy. But you wanted to be like Donald Trump 30 years ago. Even when the Central Park 5 thing happened, you still had rappers rapping like they want to be like Donald Trump. But now Donald Trump is the fall guy. He said he wanted the guys to be executed for raping the jogger. And he never walked that statement back from back in the day. But you had rap albums that came out over 30 years that glorified Donald Trump and his lifestyle, whatever, what he represented.
Yeah, I know. I've heard him.
And he even did skits on some of these albums, Judge. I just think people are a real bunch of hypocrites.
They are. And I find it interesting in that he's actually given some business loans to black folk, term loans.
Mm-hmm.
And the black people came and paid him back, and you know what he did?
What did he do?
The check up.
Oh, wow. Now, do you hear this thing about him, like, being, like, black or something like that? He got black people in his family. Have you heard that rumor?
Yeah, he was engaged to this fine-looking sister until he got with his current wife.
What happened with the black woman he was engaged to? What happened?
It was squabbled. She said, it was just, squabbling.
Mm-hmm.
He said she doesn't have any hard feelings toward him, anything like that.
Was she interviewed by the New York Times by any chance? Was that the woman that interviewed by the New York Times?
I don't remember. That to me is more tabloid shit.
Yeah, that's true.
What's that?
I definitely agree with you, but our minds are so distracted and turned into mush by all this bread and circus. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, because you're like, when you talking about natural sciences and stuff like that, they don't get that no more in school. They're not getting that nowhere, but if they go on YouTube and happen to hear you talk about it, and that piqued their interest.
Somebody wanted to argue with me about black people being the original settlers of America, and they allowed the Indians to come in here, and they are the lost tribe of Ham and all that.
Uh-huh.
Come on, please. Damn. And it's a form of self-hatred where you don't like what you are, so you create an artificial myth about your origins. That's like the Nazis coming up with that Aryan Superman, blonde-haired, blue-eyed crap, when actually Kamala Harris represents what an Aryan actually looks like. They're Hindu Brahmins. They didn't come from the north. They came from the Indus River Valley. That's India.
Mm-hmm. Well, Doug, I mean, I think the world is catching up with you in regards to Kamala Harris, or whatever name, Kamala, or whatever they call her, Harris, Hindu Harris. They're catching up with you on that, and that's a good thing. That's a credit to you being consistent and standing on your square, which is rare these days. People kind of they don't know how to take a stand on anything.
Well, some black people in the D.C. area calling me a prophet, because when I went up there, you remember when I went up there a few weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
I told them, you're going to get hit with one hell of a flood when you get some of these tornadoes or hurricanes coming through this season. And the mall in downtown D.C. is underwater.
I saw the flash flood stuff on CNN the other day.
Yeah, well.
So let me ask you this though. You talking about from a scientific point of view that was going to happen, but they're going to see this as a biblical thing. Do you have a problem with that?
It's trying to do, and I said, no, it's not biblical. It's just, the science is predicting it. Why don't you pay attention to it? You tell me all about LeBron and the Lakers and all this crap, but can you tell me about this? LeBron don't count. I mean, he counts in one way, but you know what I'm talking about.
The bigger scheme of things there. Yeah, in the bigger scheme of things, but if you go, I think this is interesting, how black men in particular, we could talk all day about sports, but we're coming to liberation and taking political action and stuff like that. We kind of we're silent, but when it comes to sports and stuff, we are very vocal and animated.
Yeah.
And don't care about what people think about our opinions.
Editorial contest. Service. Like Caesar said.
And Judge, how can we what's the best way for people to get in touch with you, to keep up with you and follow you? What would be the best way to do that?
You can get me on Twitter at Judge Joe Brown TV. And I do not have a blue check. They won't believe I'm me.
Hey, well, you are you, cause I'll be reading your tweets, and it's definitely Judge. Nobody thinks like the Judge, right? Very provocative thinker, and needs to be amplified. I'm thanking God that you utilizing the social media to do that, to get your message out there, and you won't be silent.
Well, that's why I started it. I just look at some of this stuff that's on here. Somebody needs to say something about the reality. I was looking at something. It's an exaggeration, but it isn't really an exaggeration. But what happened was some chick, one of these airbrushed China doll type with a blue check, said, I had blue Jello and it quivered when I ate it. And she got 82K some likes.
Right.
What the hell does that have to do with a damn thing?
This is what people are there right now. People kind of this the generation that grew up with cell phones and all this technology and social media and stuff. And this is how they program.
Well, I couldn't get along with myself. I said, man, when I was your age, I hadn't even thought about it. Stuff. We kept the eye out for the phone booth where you dropped a dime and it went up to a quarter.
Yeah, you was able to get a phone booth 20 years ago. You could go to a phone booth 20 years ago. You was able to find one of those.
Yeah.
Easily. I would say even maybe 15 or 18 years ago, you could find a phone booth still. But now it's a relic that belongs to the museum. I just don't see nobody.
Why did you buy your 9-year-old an iPhone X? I didn't want him to feel like he was deprived of something since everybody else has got one. Oh, God damn.
That's the new toy on my smartphone.
I want him to be safe in case something happens. Oh, really? Mama, somebody is chasing me down the street on foot and he's catching up with me and he's going to kidnap me. Oh, really?
A smartphone, nothing but a GPS tracker, to be honest with you. I mean, and people be posting, they can tell their location, which is interesting.
Yeah, but no, anybody that's going to snatch somebody's behind is going to throw the phone in the bushes.
Any excuse, son. Any excuse.
Yeah. Because why did you go out and spend $150 for a 9-year-old to have some Air Jordans or some upscale Nikes? Well, I didn't want him to feel like he was deprived because all of the rest of the children are wearing. They don't need to wear a $150 pair of Nike tennis shoes.
There's a point, right?
What's that?
I said, I hear you. I said, there ain't no point in wearing those. I never really cared for Jordans, but that's interesting. Like, I guess it's a status symbol, like a lot of things. But like people that got money don't really care about wearing name brand things. I'm talking people that's wealthy or got that old long money.
Yeah. And it's a hell of a difference when your ass is broke and you spending all that money for tennis shoes when you ought to be down here at the dollar store getting a pair for $29.99. You're gonna be sitting on his ass anyway, playing video games, sitting up on the couch. He's not gonna be outside.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess like I said, I think people are catching up to the way you're thinking about certain things, Judge, and they're applying it to their understanding of the world and their relationship with the world around them. So I think there's hope in that, knowing that the longer people can access this information that you're putting out there, that they still got a chance, not only for themselves but for their families too, to really make a change for the better.
I was in the Cheesecake Factory 3 or 4 days ago, right?
Okay.
And I'm leaving, and this guy comes up, older guy with gray hair. Judge, you remember me? No. You put me in jail. Did I give you enough time? No, see, you clued me on that man thing. I've been straight ever since. Now, it works, and they cut the crime out. So why these folk with nothing to back up their bull theories got the idea that the way to solve the problem is to fail to teach a boy how to be a man? Doesn't make sense, and everything out there shows that it actually is counterproductive. But no, they don't want to deal with that because that's against their beliefs and agenda.
And there's a price to pay for everything. Yeah, I think we're paying the price right now.
Well, we haven't paid it yet, but we will.
Well, the bill is almost due, right?
Well, you have a historical precedent. 100 years ago, where was Great Britain? Biggest nation in the world, richest country in the world. Where are we now? They're third-rate power. 2 of their colonies are more powerful militarily than they are, India and Pakistan. And Great Britain is a third-rate junior power now.
Wow.
Do you know they only have 5 ships left in the Royal Navy?
I know. Wow.
And they're little bitty corvette frigates.
Wow, they are really a formal shot on themselves. Don't forget America. The United States was a colony at one point, right?
Yeah. They got a big aircraft carrier, brand new one. They can't operate it. You know why?
Why?
They can't afford any aircraft to put on board the aircraft carrier.
Wow, I know it was that bad for them. Wow.
Yeah, that's how dumbass they got. How dumb they were. And you know what it was? They downed education and they started sissifying themselves, just like we are.
So, like you said, it won't be long then, Judge. Judgment time is coming.
And they started putting people in leadership positions because they were part of the in crowd, And, it's just, my God, it's just, they're the right kind of people there, just like you have right now, running the government, running the state legislature and local governments. You got these sissies running around that hide in the bright of day and only operate after dark when they can sneak. They aren't going to kill anybody like they used to because half of them are scared to death of their own shadows.
Wow.
And it's like, are you serious? You want that to run the country?
Well, by any means, we want to get some type of woman to represent us, whether it be transgender or a natural woman.
You want this punk to run the country. this whacked out babe who is a staunch feminist to be in charge. Hey, you probably wouldn't even want to work for her ass.
Yeah, like a lot of women, like I said, I'm surprised when I talk to women, I don't care what color or their social economic background, a lot of them can't stand women bosses.
No, they can't. I've had a whole lot of them tell me more than a whole lot. I had a woman call and I swore I'd never work for another woman in hell, even if I had to starve. And you do not want to vote for a woman to be in charge of the country? Hell no. We have other business. Well, they think they have other business to attend to. I'm sure there's probably a woman somewhere, but, it's an enabler. Can you think of a woman who is not going to get her hair done, get her nails done, get her makeup on?
I mean, even Margaret Thatcher did that, right?
Yeah, and how much time does that take away from the job at hand?
Maybe the day will be finished by that time they get ready.
I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's not a mom.
She's a stepmom, right? Her husband got kids?
Yeah, but that don't count. If she'd been a school teacher, I'd have given her a pass, but she wasn't. You 50-some years old, you haven't had any kids, well, maybe something's wrong with her.
That's interesting. Like it's interesting for people to decide. I know I got college friends. They're they're career women, but they don't have kids. I know a lot of them say it's economics, like of the situation.
So, they can't find a man because what they're looking for ain't a man.
I got big yet too. Yeah.
Boy.
More of a woman made more money than a man. I mean, she found a man that was like, he was a man, but he didn't make as much money as the woman.
Well, that's a bad show. That brings grief. Seeing that happen. Here's the thing. Only 44% of the workforce right now in America is male.
Okay.
56% of the workforce is female. And by the way, for a whole lot of jobs, there is no discrepancy in income. Women are making, well, there is, but women are making more now than the men.
So can you still be a man if your woman makes more money? I know that's kind of like a simple question.
Well, the only way around that is to take the European upper class scheme, and it consists of money, family, which is, nobility. They got that nobility thing, or being part of the intelligentsia. In other words, your wife can bring in more money. Like Winston Churchill's mama was a filthy rich heiress, and his daddy was an English lord, but he was a broke somebody. So you can bring in title, you can bring in money and assets, or you can bring in intelligence by what you create as intelligentsia. See, that was the upper class. And we don't acknowledge intelligentsia because we think everybody's supposed to be a dumb son of a bitch, who doesn't know a damn thing. He's a nerd in his books.
Yeah, it kind of go back what you go earlier about, how upper class people can make a contribution to humanity that benefits, majority of humanity.
Yeah, some of them are parasites, but a whole lot of them actually do stuff. But did you see what happened? I've been saying for years, Goldman Sachs is a bunch of scoundrels, right? You see where the Fed sued them?
But they are the feds now, ain't it, Judge? I mean, after the Clintons and Bushes and Obama.
It's worse. Obama's last nominee for the Supreme Court, for years, his law firm the law firm he was with represented Goldman Sachs. Obama and Michelle worked for a law firm that represented Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs finances Obama's trust fund. Hillary Clinton's daddy worked for Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs raised her $26 million. Cruz's wife worked for Goldman Sachs.
it is everywhere.
Obama's 2 appointments for the U.S. Supreme Court that got on those 2 women worked with or consulted with Goldman Sachs. His Treasury Secretary, Geithner, was the chief consultant for Goldman Sachs. You see where that stuff leads to?
Yeah, even Larry Summers, the former president of Harvard, who was Secretary of Treasury under Clinton.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs, all them guys.
Yeah, all of them.
Like a James Bond movie, they the octopus.
And almost every damn one of these Democratic candidates, with the exception of Sanders and 2 others, I think, are deep in the back pocket of Goldman Sachs. They've got judges, they've got politicians, they've got elected and appointed officials that formerly represented or worked for them.
And also, you talk about Goldman Sachs, I think about J.P. Morgan. I know you heard about that drug bust with several tons of cocaine on a ship that they own.
Yep.
What do you think of that about? Like, what is all that about? I'm just playing stupid here.
Well, what it is profiling.
Okay. Hello, Judge. I can't hear you. You breaking up.
It don't usually profile well-to-do people.
Okay.
So that would be somebody ideal to make a little money on the side for a big ship.
So you're saying the shipment was for what? What was the shipment? Because the phone broke up.
Okay, I'm saying this. Law enforcement tends not to profile well-to-do people.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of crime.
Okay.
White collar, but not that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get away with things. Used to tell clients and other folks trying to run around being thug all the time. I said, look, man, a cop would have a hard time establishing reasonable, let alone probable cause, stopping somebody in a business suit with a tie and a briefcase.
Yeah, I see what you say. I'm visualizing.
Urban camouflage. Instead
Mm-hmm.
of running around looking like you doing something. All loud, got your music being shared for 5 blocks around, and dressing in a certain kind of, where you, even if you haven't said anything, your clothes are shouting.
I hear what you're saying. Yes, sir.
That's not cool, particularly if you're committing criminal activity.
Yeah, don't bring attention to yourself. Unneeded attention. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So J.P. Morgan's been doing that business for a while, what it sounds like, allegedly. Cause you know what I was thinking about? I'm thinking about Franklin Roosevelt. Huh?
Hey, look at me. Don't I look like I'm a crook?
But I was thinking also about Franklin Roosevelt's grandfather, Warren Delano Jr., who was selling opium to the Chinese back in the day. I mean, some of the biggest drug dealers are Ivy League, white-collar, upper-crust people. I mean, I think about even Joe Kennedy as a bootlegger.
Well, I don't drink tea to this day, unless it's maybe in an Asian restaurant, because the tea trade involved taking opium from Afghanistan to China,
Right.
selling the opium for gold, and handing the gold over for tea. And meanwhile, addicting as many Chinese to opium as you could get, so they'd be sure to put up gold to get opium.
Yep.
Those are those famous opium dens. Those were financed and in the English government.
And that was Franklin Roosevelt's grandfather that made the family fortune off that. Franklin Roosevelt, the Democrat.
By the way, you know how long this went on?
How long?
Chiang Kai-shek made an agreement with the U.S. and England that if they continued to support him, they could continue to trade opium for tea.
Wow. Just like
Trump, when he took over in 1950, said this is poison. These people are all filthy to do this horrible thing to all of these humans to addict them to this horrible substance.
Mm.
The U.S. used to run gunboats up the Yangtze and Yalu River so they could keep the opium trade going. So
is the Boxer Rebellion connected to this too with the opium trade?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
See, the Boxers were the Kung Fu Society. They said no more dope. The U.S. and the English and the French, the Germans and the Japanese and the Italians sent in the Marines to force them to allow the opium to keep coming in.
Wow, that's the real war on drugs for you right there. Well, okay.
That's why Afghanistan's hell. The U.S. and England set up all these drug lords, and anytime one of them got too big, they'd prop up a rifle and tear him down. So it has gotten so chaotic over the last 200-some years that nobody can run the place. That's why they had the Taliban as a doggone coalition.
And they actually suppressed the opium trade, but they got rid of them, right, after 9/11.
No, the opium trade is thriving.
I'm talking about the Taliban. They was actually suppressing it, though. They stopped it,
yeah,
basically.
But see, it's back in place now.
And we got rid of, because they were allies to, I mean, they visited George Bush when he was governor of Texas, the Taliban people. I think it was like in 99 or something. This is crazy how this stuff works. It's insanity.
Yep. And see, they lie. They put on a show about all the animosity they have, and all they're doing is basically just throwing up the smoke screen or camouflage so they can keep doing what they're doing.
Wow, the games. Well, Judge, thank you so much once again for educating our people. This online class you're doing when you get on our platform and share this information with our people, because I always tell people that knowledge is the currency of the universe. So you have any closing thoughts or words of wisdom you want to share?
Hey, we can do better, but it's going to require some very hard work on our behalf. In other words, study, read the difficult stuff, quit reading entertainment. Find out what's really going on. Quit doing stupid crap like if you give me the article and Google or online that shows this. No, there's no article. You got to go do the research and look it up. Go research it. And quit relying on some article. The article can be just complete BS. Do the homework. Be knowledgeable. You become less subject to manipulation the more knowledge you have. Even the Nazis knew that the truth was the absolute enemy of the lie. And if you're relying on a lie for your power, you must suppress the truth. So don't let the truth be suppressed in you, and you give up your own access to the truth when it's out there if you put the effort in to get it. And for those of you who are young, who have young children, remember, K through 12 is the key to the rest of life.
Thank you, thank you, Judge, so much for your wisdom, insight, and your time. And the word's great to go to. We love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. But also, please follow Judge on Twitter at Judge Joe Brown TV. Without the blue check mark, it's the actual judge, and you shouldn't be surprised if he responds back to you. So that's Judge Joe Brown TV.
Keep on pushing. Power to the people.
Yes, sir.
And I'm out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.
You too, sir. Thank you.